Grateful. If everybody could join me in saluting the flag of our great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody just remain standing silent for our troops and their families and all of our first responders. Thank you. Okay, workshop. First thing we're going to discuss is our first day of recycling. Most of it went off pretty well. We had some little problems here and there.
Can't hear you back here, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
How's that, better?
Much better.
Okay. Yeah, we started recycling the first of the year. Monday was the first pickup. There was some little hiccups here and there. Everybody got picked up. But some people got stickers and notes put on their cans because of either the cans were so heavy they couldn't lift, and there were bigger cans. I know we put out on social media that they had to be blue cans. That's not really in the ordinance, but it makes it easier for our guys to pick up. 32-gallon cans is so that they're not overweight. You know, a lot of people were calling us saying about, we got a sticker because the cans were oversized and all that, and it wasn't. Most of them got picked up, but the ones that were full to the top that the guys actually couldn't pick up, it was a problem. That's why we're really pushing 32-gallon cans. I know that there's going to be some issues as we get going with this. I got a lot of emails and I had to take a lot of calls over it, and I'm sure Mike Campbell got about 50 more times the calls that I got. But and then there was some of them that had food in the cans. As we work through this to try to streamline it a little bit, we are looking at saving a lot of money for the borough by doing it ourselves. But change is always a problem. And then on Mondays, some people's garbage gets picked up on Mondays. So with the blue cans, our guys could actually see which ones are recycling instead of trying to take the lid off of every can and trying to figure out what's recycling and what's garbage. But I'm going to let Mike Campbell just go through a few things this way, bring everybody up to speed. It's going to take us a few weeks to get everything under control, but we're working on it. Mike?
Thank you. First of all, the mix-up with the blue cans was my responsibility. I had tried to get out on social media that we requested blue cans, and it was not put out that way. I did not proofread it, so I take responsibility. That was put out in a stronger term than requested. It is not in the ordinance. The ordinance, which is 23.5.1, does say that it has to be a 32-gallon can maximum, a 50-pound weight limit, and it has to have a cover so constructed to prevent spilling, leakage, contents for infiltration of water, and to be anti-vermin proof, and shall be disinfected on a regular basis. I'm not pushing and disinfecting it. So again, if you have a 32-gallon can and it has a lid on it, you'll be fine. DeLissa does pick up trash. They used to do it on Wednesdays too, and we took care of all the complaints. Getting ready for this, let me just regress 1 minute. Over the last couple of years, we get the complaints, even though DeLissa was picking up both recycling and garbage. The town, what we heard from you guys was they didn't put the cans back on the curb. They put them in front of our driveways. They were blocking our spaces. They were doing this. So the first thing we did is make sure we put them back on the curb, not in front of driveways, and we tried to be 100% on that yesterday. I think we were, and my guys will be cognizant of that fact. The second thing we did is they're dropping papers as they're driving. They're doing this, they're making a mess, whatever it is. If we saw papers even pulling up to a scene, because it was windy the night before, and there was papers on the ground, before we even started, we picked up the papers to make sure it was clean when the residents came outside. So again, we heard that complaint. The idea of the 32 gallons, as the mayor said, is that our guys, we're picking it up. This whole thing started to save money because the mayor and council decided that we have to pinch each penny. We can't afford to pay the $1.1 million that DeLissa wanted to pick this up. So we're going to do it for about an $800,000 to an $850,000 savings over the course of the 5 years. With that, we don't have the machinery or the new garbage trucks the cable trucks to pick up the larger cans. That's why we're asking to go back to the ordinance. The ordinance is around 30 years old. It's been 32 gallons forever. The list just allowed the larger cans because they had the machinery to do it. May or may not be easier for them, but it was certainly easier for the residents. So here I am. But again, the 32 gallons is the max. In the first zone that goes from Ocean Avenue to B Street, and to B Street, you will get your garbage picked up on the same day as recycling. So that means the list is going to be driving in that area. They have to stop and make sure they're not picking up your recycling, and we have to stop and make sure we're not picking up their trash to make sure everything's clean. We want clean recycling so we save money. If the recycling is not clean, they charge us more at the landfill. So we're trying to save taxpayers money that way. That's the idea of the blue can. That's why I wanted it. So we can just drive on our truck, we see a blue can, the list can drive on their truck, they see a blue can, there's no cross. I've gotten at least 100 calls over the course of the past year, people saying, why are we taking the time to separate? The list is picking it up, it's supposed to be a recycling truck, but they picked it up, they put it in this one, I'm sure it's the other truck, I'm sure it's it. I want no miscommunications. If you have a blue can, they know leave it alone, we know pick it up. That's all it's meant for. The miscommunication that came, Blue Gate, whatever else you guys want to call it, it's my fault. Okay? I get it. Blue cans are a universal sign of its recycling. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to make it more efficient. So again, the stronger language saying was in the thing. It's my fault. I should have proofread it, but I was out actually prepping for this. We did an awful lot to prep for it, and I was out with the trucks. Some of you still may get that great picture of the superintendent picking up cardboard and doing things, but yes, I was out there working to make sure things went. So again, all that being said, we do start at 6 o'clock. Please put your recycling out. If it's a windy night, we have to be careful, but that's why we have the lids. So again, put it out past 6 p.m., no later than 6 a.m. We are going to start at 6 a.m. We started work that day. We switched it to an A and a B shift in DPW, so we don't have any overtime. So nobody's complaining that they're trying to get more money. They're doing this. We did this to save money. We had enough work to do. So again, we now have an A and a B shift on Mondays. My A shift, the recycling shift, which is 8 guys, comes in. They start at 5 o'clock, and now it'll be 5:30 since it's the second one. They get ready to go out. They go out, they do the recycling. Should they not finish in time with their 8-hour shift, the B shift, which comes in at 7 o'clock, will finish the route for them, so there is no overtime to the taxpayers. We've thought everything through. The only thing I didn't think through was the wording of blue cans. I apologize. I do want blue cans. I want to go on record saying, I want blue cans. Blue cans matter. Yes, it's easier for us. When you're driving on a truck, you can see a blue can, we know to recycle. Most people want recycling to go well because we worry about recycling issues. That's what we want to do. But it had nothing to do with, it never went to Mr. Kirschbaum. He likes to say everything's his responsibility. It never went to him. It never went that far. It stopped at my plate. It's my fault. I apologize. You don't have to get a blue can at this point. I prefer you do if you're getting new cans anyway. I know there is consideration for ordinance change in the future. In the next 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, we're going to be looking at it to say blue cans have to be used for recycling. So if you're going to be getting a new can anyway, why not get the blue? As it said on the Facebook, Walmart's selling them for $13 for 32 gallons with a lid. There was many things saying from tailors that they're having them as of tomorrow, and they're going to match. They called it the Orange Box store, which I'm sure they were referring to Home Depot. So again, don't match their prices. But again, you don't have to get anything with wheels. You can have wheels. Somebody posted on there that Mike didn't pick them up. Mike didn't pick them up because there was wheels. No, I don't care if there's wheels or not. Wheels make it easy for us. We like wheels. We're good. So again, we've handed out 250 stickers. We did, trying to educate the public, saying this is a larger can. We still emptied it when we could lift it. Some of them our guys could not lift. Some of them 2 guys could not lift.
What's in it?
Some water, some paper, but it was also, you had Christmas, wasn't a pickup, New Year's Day, wasn't a pickup, and if you didn't get to 26 pickup, your recycling could have been there for 2.5 weeks. So people, believe me, they had it packed. How packed, Mike? 27,740 pounds of recycling was picked up, plus a 3/4 tons of cardboard, which we separated again because we don't have to pay for that. So I had my guys separate it so we don't pay for that. So again, That's what we picked up just yesterday. That's not for a week, that's one pickup. So again, there was a lot of stuff out there. We did our best. As far as I know, we didn't, not one person was picked up because of a blue color, an orange color, a green color. We're just trying to make it easier. That's it. So again, I apologize. I didn't want to get their phones ringing all night. It's my responsibility. I should have watched this social media thing. I screwed up. We did do a good job cleaning up. The guys worked hard, okay? And we are saving you guys a lot of money, over $800,000 because we took it back. And that's because of the mayor and council. So again, give us patience. We will make mistakes. We are human. And we'll do better, all right? But I did hear the other complaints that you guys have about the curbs. You'll see my trash cans are going to be placed back on the curb. You're going to see we stop and pick up papers. My garbage truck yesterday stopped twice. On the route to another thing, because they saw papers in the street, the guy jumped off the truck and picked them up again. Like we normally do in our regular cars. I'm just telling you, I tell them all the time, people are watching, they have brains, they want to see us working. They want to see us doing the little things. So we will. I'm the only hitch in the whole program yesterday. So again, I apologize. That's it. That's the last time I apologize for blue cans.
Hey, Mike, just to put it in context, the weight thing is important because we have different vehicles, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and they have to lift these things over their heads. So,
Correct.
yeah.
Delissa has new trucks, and they have cable systems that, when you bring out the big, like the 95 gallons, which I love, Wall has them, they're great. You pull them up, they have a single guy who picks them up, or you wheel them out, and there's a jack in the back, attach the garbage truck to it, or the garbage can to it, and it automatically lifts it. It saves my guys' backs, they would love it, I would love it. What we have from the Borough of Belmar is a perfectly good garbage truck that is 30 years old and does not have the attachments that we have in new trucks. So again, I could have said to the mayor and council, I can do it, but buy me a new truck for $300,000 or whatever they cost. We didn't do that. We said we're going to make this work until we're going to run to the ground and save taxpayers money. And then we'll reevaluate whether it's worth it going a new truck or going back to a service at a better rate. So again, we're trying our best to do it. My guys, as good as they are workers, and they are great workers, and it's a great DPW, they're not loving having to pick up these things. In scooters, we use one truck with two guys in the back, one driver, 5 scooters, and one guy in each scooter. The scooters are 6 foot tall. So he is lifting your hopefully 32-gallon container and lifting it 6 feet over his head and putting it back down. You're allowed 5 cans per residence. We have 3,000 houses in town. Is that right?
Yeah.
So if everybody has 5, that's a busy day. So again, 5 cans you're allowed, 32 gallons with a lid. Please buy blue, you don't have to, and that's it, okay? So that's really the recycling. We will get better. Not one, but not one, no matter what they say on the blog or anybody else, not one car was missed, or not one house was missed because of the color blue. Not one. Color didn't matter. It just makes it easier for us and for Delissa to see what's what and not mix it up, because we want recycling to go recycling, we want trash to go where trash goes, okay? And please use the recycling app, Recycling Coach. It's on Belmar.com. It will tell you when to put out your recycling. It will give you a reminder that night. Tomorrow day is recycling. It'll tell you if there's an alert where there's going to be snow and we canceled the recycling. It'll tell you. It'll bing. They'll tell you when your pickup days are. It's a Recycling Coach, Belmar.com. It is free. It has all of our rules for recycling. It does not say you need a blue can. It won't be in there. That was me. Okay? So again, please use the recycling app. It's great. Communication is great. Tomorrow's going to be a wonderful day because it's the first Wednesday that we're not picking up, and I've already seen a lot of recycling cans out there. People are going to call me tomorrow and say, you didn't pick up my can. It's Wednesday. I know. I did it on Monday, and you missed the whole blue can thing, but just put it on Monday. So here I am. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, there is going to be some, change always happens and change creates some problems, but we are going to work it out. Mr. Campbell assured us that, within a month or so. One of the things is that we started picking it up on Monday, and we started it now to get everybody used to it because of the summer crowd. And we want to pick up all that recycling on Monday after everybody's here.
Can I just address that real quick, because that's a good point. We went from Wednesday to Monday, not because Monday's my best day and I wanted to get my guys exercise. One of the big complaints we had heard over the last couple of years is the recycling sits, especially from renters, from Sunday night until Wednesday. It stinks, it draws flies, it draws vermin, it draws whatever. I have a house that we have young people, or we have parties, and our recycling sits there, it's sticky, it draws bees, it draws that. So we were going to keep it to Wednesday, and then we were talking about paying for a second pickup. Somebody in our courtroom who was on your side, who got up and made a suggestion we listened to. Claire, you want to stand up? Claire's the one that gave us the brilliant idea. Mike, why don't you just move it to Wednesday, dumbass, and pick it up one time? And I said, duh, we should have thought of that. So we went to Wednesday. I spoke to the mayor and council, and they said, great idea. Or Monday. Not Wednesday or Monday. Who can, man? But again, it came from your audience, from you guys listening. So again, sometimes you don't have to, we don't know everything. We listen to the people that you guys come to these meetings. She's a regular, she came up with a great idea. We did it, I think it's going to work better. I think it's going to work better for all the residents, especially in the summer, when you do have beer cans, soda cans, whatever sitting there. Instead of waiting until Wednesday, we're now picking them up on Monday. That's why we did it. It was not to screw up anybody or say, it's New Year, let's see how we mess with them. It was not for that. It was not, okay? Sorry, thank you.
All right. I know there's some questions, but we'll wait till the public session, and then you come up. We're in a workshop session, and we just wanted Mr. Campbell to explain some of the issues that we heard and some of the things that were going on. But like I said before, there's going to be, for the next couple of weeks, I'm sure there's going to be little problems here and there, but we're going to iron them out. We'll figure it out. We'll get them ironed out. You know, even if you can put a piece of tape on the can, just write recycling for now until, you know, so that the guys start to know what is recycling, and they're not taking the lids off everybody's can, trying to figure out which ones are recycling. But we'll get to where we need to be, and you know, Mr. Campbell's on it, and we'll be working with him to get it straightened out. I know we have a lot of problems, but it'll get better. All right. The only other thing I have on workshop, you guys have anything you want to add? No. Okay. We just got notified about, I think Saturday, that the Ocean Avenue Bridge is closing, and it's going to be closed to the traffic and pedestrians until almost till Memorial Day weekend. Which and all of a sudden they did an inspection of the bridge. They need emergency repairs right away, and they're closing it within 2 weeks. So you know, it's going to be a hardship for everybody, but it's work that needs to be done. They can't wait on it, and they want to get it started right away, so it's open for the summer. So I know it's going to be a hardship for a lot of people that use Ocean Avenue, but it is what it is. It's out of our control. I know there was a press release put out on it today, so and it looks like in 2 weeks they'll be opening up that bridge, and we won't be able to drive or walk over it. So that's the only other thing that I have. As far as workshop, we had a meeting on Saturday, so it seems like, you know, not much went on in the past couple days, except for recycling. Except for recycling. So, all right. You guys got anything else for workshop? No. Everything good? All right. We'll move on to anybody in the audience have petitions for us tonight? All right. Seeing none. April approval of the minutes.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the December 30th, 2019 and January 4th, 2020 meetings?
I'll make a motion.
For a second?
Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman Carvelli?
Yes.
Okay. Reports of council. Councilman Carvelli, anything in 2 days?
No, 3 days. I feel like we have, what do we have, 3 meetings in a span of 7 days? There's nothing.
All right. Council President Brennan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I actually do have something, believe it or not. I got an email from Beverly Miller, who's the executive director of the Belmar Arts Center, and she wants me to let the public know that upcoming exhibits and events. Art in Nature, the Members Salon, the dates are January 14th to February 18th. Usually when they have an opening like that, at some point they'll open for a few days and then they have the reception. The reception is Saturday, January 25th, 5 to 7. This is the annual Members Salon where the members get to speak about one of their pieces. They're inviting us. They're saying, love the council to attend. I know where I'm going. Okay. They're having Pixels, Pints, and Pizza fundraiser. Movie night. Dorothy and Lang grab a hunk of lightning. I'm just reading the email. I'm not really sure what this is. I guess that's the movie. Pizza from Federico's and discussion on the movie. So you see the movie, you pay for the movie, you get the pizza, and they make some money. And also there's a live at the BAC, which is something I've done. I know the gentleman who runs that is a friend of mine named John Falk. He lives down the block from me on 11th Ave. He's a great guitar player, great singer. He does once a month, I guess jam session you would call it, but it's an acoustic jam session. It's very a lot of country bluegrassy sounding music. But they're doing a different one. That's the music jam. That's the third Thursday. They don't give me a date. They have a couple of concerts. Saturday, January 11th, Renee Maskin, Dave Vargo, and Amanda Duncan. That's at 7. Dave Vargo's really good. Saturday the 18th, performance by the Well Wish. That's also at 7 o'clock. Oh my God, this is really long. Shared interest groups. There's a life drawing and painting class, begins Sunday, January 19th. There's a painter's open studio that's Thursdays from 12:30 to 3. Abstract painter's open studio, second Friday each month, that's 2 to 4. The creative writing group, first and third Tuesday of each month, 6:30 to 8:30. They're really busy over there. They have classes. They have a painting class, painting from the group up. 5 sessions starts Saturday, January 4. Just started. Learn how to use your digital camera. That's Monday, January 13th, 6:30 to 9. And beginning photography, Saturday, January 18th, 9 to 5. Wow, I apologize. I didn't realize this went on that long, but it's good. They're very busy over there. I knew they did a lot, but I had no idea what this was their schedule. So, and that's it for me. Oh, Environmental Commission meeting this Thursday night, 6:30, downstairs at the library. Public's welcome. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. The only thing I have is we already started working on getting ready for the parade, which seems to be a little far off, but not really. And then we have Dine and Discover the week after the parade, which is March 8th, John? Yeah, March 8th. And then we're working on getting ready for the boat show on April 4th and 5th. So those things are, it seems like it's a little far off, but those things have to be worked on. So that's all I have. Do you have anything else? Okay. Public session on any of the resolution items.
Can I have a motion to close the public session?
You have something on the resolution items?
Yes. Can I talk about the pickup?
No, that's at public, that's at
Not
public.
now.
Not now.
Yeah. I'll have my.
Soon.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to close the public session?
Can't hear exactly.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the resolutions as listed on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman Carvelli?
Yes.
Next, we have a consent agenda for ordinances. Do I have a motion to offer ordinances 2020, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for first reading and introduction?
I'll make a motion.
I'm sorry, who was the second? Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman Carvelli?
Yes.
Okay, now we go to public session. Anybody wants to come up and speak about it?
Yes. Hi, good evening. I'm Ward Lady Pasquale, 607 8th Avenue, Belmar. I'd like to speak about the pickup that we're going through, the change and everything. I would like to thank you so very much. I've been in my home since 1937, 55, 60 years. Thank you. I thank you for all of your people, even yesterday, that are coming through to do the best they can. However, I do feel, when I came here in 1937, I was 2. And of course, I only lived here for, let's say, maybe 8 years before I realized that in those days, they used to come through, the town did, and shovel our garbage into a dump truck. I feel that's where we're back to. I do not respect any of you for all the decisions that you have made in this town. You're taking us back. And I understand, a call was made to Taylor's today, $59.99 for a blue can. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use exactly what I have. We will be picked up on a Monday. I am down to 2 people in my household now. 1 can will do us. And I'm sorry that your people have to do it, because I have never seen a town that's been so beautifully kept all of these years. But how are you going to do it in the spring and the summer? Do you have an answer for that?
Yes, ma'am, we can handle it.
Really, can you?
Ma'am, we can.
Then they're going to be 24 hours a day
The
to keep
average-
the roads, beaches, and everything else, and pick up all of our recycling.
We'll be able to do it because we do have extra temporary people in the summer.
Listen,
I'm
you
saying
can
it's
say,
been-
you can say all you want, all you want. You can
Okay.
say all you want. I am sorry. I really respected some of you. I have no respect for you anymore, because what you've done to this town, you've taken us back in time. And I'd like to know too, what did the program cost for the bag for seniors, for evacuation? Does anybody have that price?
Bags are free.
Excuse me?
The bags are free, that's
Bags
the
are
county.
free.
The bags are free, but what did it cost this town?
It doesn't cost us anything.
Oh, it didn't?
They're from the county.
Oh, they're from the county, well, that's very well and good. All these years, do you think as a senior, and I read all of those listings, it doesn't apply to many of us. We've already been prepared. 2012, when Superstorm Sandy came in, do you think we're waiting for a bag to load up to leave this town?
That would go, you'd have to go to the county, they're the one doing it.
Well, you know what? It's not good. And I just have to say to each and every one of you, you're not doing so good. And I'm just totally dissatisfied with everything. I'll be here till the day I die, but I'm not satisfied with anything, nothing. And I don't expect my road department to be doing all of this. When other towns around us have, if you want pickups, then get a truck that's going to, you want us to buy something? To put our no more than, what is it, 32 gallon, and no more than 50 weight in anything?
Correct.
It's, I am sorry. All my life, I've known all of these people for our roads, how they keep our town. I am dissatisfied, and I'm ashamed of all of you. I really am. I really am. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, Linda?
Linda Sharkus, 4th Avenue. 2 questions. Mike, what do we do with those oversized blue containers that have the handle so you can put it in, lift it over a truck? Are we going to recycle those? Or there was some reference to putting them in the trash?
I know the bulk pickup will pick them up. I don't know if they're recycling or not. I can find out tomorrow from the recycling people in Monmouth County if they are pulling any of those aside. But again, it's a bulk pickup item. It's not something the town would pick up. It would be picked up by Delissa on the second pickup of your week.
The notice said that it would be disposed of.
It will be disposed of. But I don't, you're asking me where it's going to go to be recycled or not. I'd have to find out from the county landfill, because that's where it's coming from.
Okay, my second point that I'd like to make, with the bridge closing, I would envision there's going to be a problem on 5th Avenue because in the CBD district, it required delivery trucks to have off-avenue availability. But right now, for 5th and Main, they're holding up traffic on 5th Avenue near the light. So that's, I think it would be good if we try to figure a solution to that or restrict deliveries off peak traffic hours. Because the guy's delivering hot dogs or what, cold cuts to Mike Sub, and you know, he's crossing from across the street. Like he waves you down so you don't run him over. So I think we, with more traffic going up 5th, with bridge closing, maybe we could come up with a plan.
We're not sure where the traffic's going to go yet. We have to meet with Captain Scott in the county for the detour for everything to flow out into the highway, out to 71. So we're going to have that meeting with the county. We were advised on Saturday, but we were called today of the definite date, so we're still meeting with the county to make sure that we get the traffic planned out.
Well, I would imagine the locals are going to go up Fifth because it's the most convenient if, you know, they.
Whatever the detour is set by Captain Scott and the county, that's what we're going to do. Because they want to flow the traffic out to Highway 71.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Sherry Russo, 1218 Briarwood Road in Belmar. I have 3 questions. One is my neighbors are, they have a landlord who doesn't live in Belmar, so they put out their recycling. It has reels and it has like the lid that's attached. It was never picked up. So usually I text the landlord or call her and tell her like what's going on. But then it was said that that's okay to use that. My question is, what happens like now it wasn't picked up as of tonight, then by next week, where is their recycling going to go?
Okay, the first thing, I don't know why it wasn't picked up.
No.
So again, I don't know if it's an oversized can, if the,
I have a picture that I can show you.
okay, but I'd have to look at the can actually to see the printing on it to see what it is. Because I had a gentleman call me this morning, said we didn't pick up this can, it's a 55-gallon can, and it was actually a 95-gallon can with a 330-pound weight limit on it. That's why it wasn't picked up. So we had to send 2 guys in a scooter today to go get it. But again, I'll look at it, but again, I don't know the answer.
And then, but what happens, like, you know, that landlord doesn't live in this town. You know, it was her mom's home, and then she rents it out to, like, girls in their 20s, women in their 20s. And so, what then is, or is...
That unfortunately becomes a code enforcement issue. People are responsible for taking in their cans, supposed to be in by 6 o'clock.
No, I mean about what do you then do with it? Does she like piece it out every week and like put it, you know? I mean, by the time, I'm gonna text the landlord tomorrow and say to her, I went to council meeting and you have to get the size can and you can have, you know.
Again, if it's a normal size can, even close to that, we'll pick it up Monday. I don't know why it wasn't picked up yesterday. It might not be clean still. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because I don't remember every house. But again, we'll try and pick up this coming Monday everything that we can so that people can get rid of them once they're emptied and go on to the next size. That's what we're trying to do. That's why we went out today and picked up some, because people have the same concerns, so we did the same thing. So again, I can look at it, that's the best I can tell you. I can't tell you why it wasn't picked up.
No, I just want to know what I should tell her to do about it.
She should get
piece it
32-gallon cans, she should make sure her recycling is clean, she should put them out
Right.
before 6 a.m. on Mondays. But again, with that one itself, we will look at it. If it's out there now, it'll be out there tomorrow, correct?
I have no idea. It
Well,
was that
you're
when
saying
I
it's
got
out.
here. It was that when I came.
Okay, so we will look at it in the morning. I don't have
Yeah.
mine working tonight.
Yeah,
We will look
right.
at it and we'll try and come up with a solution.
Right.
If it's just emptying it and then telling them to get new cans, we'll empty it
Right.
tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll do the best we can.
My other question is, you said there's an app that people should...
Recycle app. Recycle Coach. It's
And,
on Belmar.
It's really good.
I have a neighbor who's a senior, doesn't use any of that. Are there letters going out to seniors, or is it up to us to tell them?
We put out the word as best we could through Tap Into It, through CoStar, through Code Reds, through social media.
But we didn't like send a letter in the water bill or something?
I did not walk a
No.
letter to anybody, and we didn't use a town mailing for anybody to say it's switching. So again, we did the best we could do.
Right,
I'm
yeah,
sure
I
we
know
did
it
the
just
best.
happened very, very quick. I wasn't sure if something's going to go in the water bill or something.
But the next
Or-
one,
yeah.
we didn't have one going
Right,
out
right.
from that, so if that still needs to be done after the next one. Hopefully they'll pick up after the first week. Tomorrow's going to be everybody's going to figure it out tomorrow. Whoever does it out tomorrow is going to call, they're going to yell at me, they're going to say you're not picking it up today, and I'll say we pick it up on Mondays, and then I'll do the best I can to help them wherever I can, and the rest will be picked up this coming Monday. And hopefully they'll figure at that point it's Mondays.
And my other question is, what happens when we lose the lid? Like, oh, we then have to buy the entire new trash can?
The most,
Like, usually I put the lid on it, or one is kept in my garage. I have tenants. I provide one for each floor of the tenants, the correct size with the lid. But I always take the lids off before I bring it out, because they disappear, they fly away even when they're not out because it's windy.
I get it. The best thing to do is have an attached lid. If you can't get an attached lid or you can't afford an attached lid, the ordinance does read it has to have a lid. The reason
Right.
is because if it gets filled with water, we're
Right.
not gonna empty it, you're gonna be stuck with the same situation. What do I do with it now? It's frozen up, it's done whatever. So again,
Right.
it does need a lid. I don't know how else to address that.
Right, so I have the lid now. I haven't been putting it out because every time I put out a lid, it goes bye-bye. And so then do I just, every week, just buying a $16, I mean, I don't care, it's $16. But, you know, we spent all this energy, well, I'm gonna have to. How am I gonna get a lid?
Ma'am, I can't address that you're losing a lid every week. I don't know how that happens. I've lived here over 30 years and I haven't lost 3 lids in 30 years.
Really? Good for you.
I'm just saying, I don't know how.
Maybe I'm in a windier spot.
Probably.
Maybe, yes. And so,
I don't know how to answer that, ma'am. I don't know how to answer if
Okay.
you're losing your lids.
is it only because of the rain, or you don't pick it up at all, even if there's no lid and it's sunny?
Ma'am, I'm going to pick up as much recycling as we can. If your recycling gets filled with water and
Right.
it freezes and
Right,
it's
right.
over 50 pounds,
Right.
we will not pick it up.
Totally understandable on
Okay,
that.
I don't know how else to say that.
All right. Thank you.
If I could just add about the lids on the cans. It's not so much with trash, but with recycling in particular, it's really important to keep the contents of the recycling as dry as possible. If paper gets wet, you can't recycle it at all, and it's basically contaminated everything in the container. Again, if it's cans and bottles, if they get water in them, it's going to add weight, and it's going to cost you all some more money because they charge us by the pound. If there's a way you could figure out to attach a lid, you know, make a hole, put a zip tie in, that'll keep the lid from blowing away. I've had the same thing happen with me. I've had lids just disappear down the street. I watch them blow away and I chase them. I can't go fast enough to get them. But, you know, in this case, it's really important to try to make it work. Because in the long run, it's going to save us all money and be better for the environment.
Well, firstly, I'm Valerie Adafaro, and I reside at 2nd Avenue and A. I'm part of the Bellhaven community. And first question I'd like to say, well, firstly, happy and healthy New Year to all of us on a good tone. Mike, regarding the recycled situation, the way it's been currently at Bellhaven, we have 15 owners. So we formerly had 3 bins that were 95 gallons each. Now, I'm aware of this 32-gallon scenario. So my question to you is, we are at a challenge because we made a call to you and we were told we can have a maximum of 5. So I think if you do the math, because initially we had close to 300 gallons. And
5 per unit, ma'am.
oh, 5, so if we're 15,
You have, how many condos?
we're 15 owners altogether.
If you have 15 owners, ma'am, you're allowed 5 times 15.
Okay.
Each owner's allowed 5.
Okay, well, that resides. I was under the impression the way we were told was just 5 maximum, so,
No, ma'am.
okay, all right.
But you're also allowed, because you do have an association there, you're
Right.
allowed a 2-yard container, which our truck can pick up.
Okay.
And that would take care of all your recycling programs, and we did have somebody go to your unit and explain that.
Okay, well, I wasn't aware of it, but thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And the other thing that I want to address to the mayor and to the rest of the staff, and I realize that we're on constraint with our budget, but because I live very close to Inlet Terrace, has anyone addressed, the road is absolutely loaded with potholes, and it's kind of disastrous, and the whole strip of Inlet Terrace. And I realize, you know, we're on budgets, but any thoughts on that? And that was my next concern.
We have our engineer checking our roads, and we're going to repave the worst ones. Right now, 12th Avenue is getting done and 15th Avenue, and if he tells us that Inlet Terrace is the next one that has to be done, that's the one we'll be working on. But right now, 12th Avenue is going to get done, and 15th Avenue.
The section in Inlet Terrace around the curb, which is the worst part.
Correct, that's what I was
Mr. Kirschenbaum took me over there. We are going to address it in the spring. We have a small miller, we can do it. So trying to just get it resolved as a patchwork, we can get it done. But again, the mayor has the engineers going out there to see what roads we can do in total. But we've already been over there, addressed it. It is a bad area. We've tried to patch it, it's not working. We're going to have to mill the section up and put down new patch in the spring when the weather breaks.
I know, because we're all driving zigzag, but I'm glad it's on the wish list, so thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Tom?
Tom Booker, 527 8th Avenue, Belmar. First of all, the town looked great over the holidays. Nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
On Ocean Avenue, when the state was talking about Route 71 bridge, they're going to do half and half, so to keep traffic going. They can't do that down on Ocean Avenue?
No,
No?
it's in such disrepair that they sent an engineer and they were glad that they found that the steel pinions are in really bad shape. And they want to get to it now and not have to close that bridge in the summertime, because if it buckles, the pinions are bad. This is an emergency job, and that's why they're doing it. If they could have done it piecemeal, they would have done that, because that's what the thought process was early on. But when they actually found out what was wrong with it, they have to move on quickly.
Thank you. Finally, the chair yoga, have you reached a decision on that yet?
The what?
Chair yoga? What was done at the senior center?
Okay.
It was very popular.
I'm sure it
My
was.
wife tells me.
This is the problem.
Obviously, I don't do it.
Since the community center is closed down, we're now evaluating the programs. The problem in the past is there was instructors being paid, not consistent to the law of the land. We can't provide somebody with a facility, pay them, and they get away with no overhead. So basically, it was illegally done. There's got to be a bid process, an open, fair process for people to either bid or so they can be compensated the right way. So we moved everything from the library to recreation. We're in the process of the recreation director, seeing what other municipalities are doing, along with our legal borough attorney. We're trying to come up with the best plan for the best possible method to make sure that it's not done illegally. We're moving things to the Taylor Pavilion. I know Manjan, I guess they call it.
Yeah, I heard of
That's a self-contained project where there's nobody being paid to instruct that. So we've moved that from the community center down to Taylor Pavilion. We're using the gym for recreation programs that don't require somebody being paid as an instructor.
Okay.
But we have people making money that it wasn't a competitive bid process, it was actually illegal. So we're trying to fix the ills of the past.
So is there a target date to have that resolved?
We've been working on that since we found out that the senior center was closing. We're in the process of trying to get to the best possible solution based on the rates and the legality of the system.
So you don't have a target date?
As soon as we get, then we have to go through resolution and ordinance, and then we're going to get it done. But we're moving on it as quickly as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? All right.
I have a motion to close the public session and adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you all for coming out.